Hello, Mrs. Moore's first graders. This is Miss Peterson again to give you another Reader's Workshop mini lesson. So again today we are going to look at our book Fireflies for Nathan that we read yesterday. And today our goal is to work on a reading strategy for solving unknown words in the story. So when we come to a word that we don't know, we're going to start by looking at the beginning. And then we're going to look at the end of the word, and then we're going to check all the way through. And then we need to think, does that word make sense? Does it look right? Does it sound right? And does it make sense in our story? So I have picked out a couple pages in this story. Let's go to the first page. All right, let's take a look at this sentence right here. I'm going to read it. When night came on, the three of us, your poppy too, would creep across the... Now I'm going to get ready by looking at the beginning. Ooh. Lamp? Let me see, would that make sense? Well, that is a word. But if I'm looking throughout the whole... Oh, I see this N at the end. Lawn. Let's reread that. Would creep across the lawn. Ooh, does that make sense? What do you think, first graders? I think that makes sense, and it looks like that's just what they're doing in the picture, too. Would you agree, my camera woman? Does that make sense?
It makes sense. They are on the lawn, and the word looks right.
All right, now let's go to our next word. Your daddy caught a few, 3, 4, or 5, enough to make a shining... Let's look at this word. I wonder what that word could be. Well, I see a ooh, and oop, lamp. Running my finger all the way across. Will that make sense? Let's reread it. Enough to make a shining lamp. Would that make sense, first graders? It looks right. I see a P at the end. And it sounds right. Does it make sense in our sentence? What do you think, camera woman? Does it make sense in our sentence?
Well, I think with those lightning bugs, they're going to shine like a lamp. So I think so.
All right, let's go on to our next set of words. I think we need to skip quite a few pages to find our next one. More minutes pass. Nathan pulls at Nana's arm. It's getting... Let's look at that word. It's getting damp. Uh-oh, but I'm noticing at the end of this word there's a K there. And I know that K doesn't make the P sound, so I'm going to run my finger across that whole word again. Dark. Dark. Let's reread that. It's getting dark. Well, that would make sense. It fits with the K at the end. I hear that sound and that D at the beginning. What do you think, camera woman? Does that make sense? It's getting dark.
Makes sense. Looks right.
And it sounds right. All right, now first graders, we're going to go to one more word. And this time, I'm going to have you do this. So let's find our page. Word is hiding on us. I think it might be our very last page. There it is. Let's read this sentence. The firefly jar is sitting by the... Oh, I'm going to show you this word. Bag. First graders, take a second to think. Could that word be bag? Or is it another word? Well, I'm seeing no bags in this picture. So I'm thinking that wouldn't make sense. The firefly jar is sitting by the bag. Oh, that doesn't sound right either. So let's look across that whole word. B-ed. Oh, bed. Let's reread our sentence. The firefly jar is sitting by the bed. Ooh, and I noticed that if we look at our pictures, that where the jar is sitting, it's sitting right next to the bed. So would that make sense if that word is bed? What do you think, first graders? Camera woman, would you agree?
I agree.
All right, that word is bed. Now, I think that is all the words that we were going to look at today. Let me just double check. Now, first graders, this was a really short lesson just to show you that when you come to unknown words, that you have a strategy. You can get ready by saying the beginning sound and then checking the word all the way through to the end and then thinking, does that word make sense? Does it match what's going on in the story? And you always want to make sure you go back and reread. So every time that I came to an unknown word, I always went back and reread the sentence to make sure that it fit and that it sounded right and it made sense. So first graders, as you're reading today and you come across unknown words, I want you to remember those strategies that we just talked about and practice in our book, Fireflies for Nathan. And make sure that you share this strategy with someone close to you. Maybe your mom, your dad, grandma, grandpa, a stuffed animal, a pet, anything. Just share it with somebody, a reading strategy that you practiced today. All right, tune in tomorrow.